my friends, and welcome back to Ration Nerd. You know what we do here. We eat rations, which is a really goofy and absolutely nerdy hobby. But you know we give zero shits about it being nerdy. We just have a good time with this. And you know what? I'm really happy you guys decided to come along with me because doing this by myself would still be fun, but not nearly as much fun as when you guys come along for the ride. So thanks for being here. And today we are getting into this Greek-ish ration. Dardanel is actually headquartered in Turkey, and they also have a production facility in Greece. Now, I don't have this as absolute 100% gospel. The story that was passed over to me is, yes, this is currently a civilian ration, but Dardanel is making a push to be the ration manufacturer for Greece as well as other NATO countries, and apparently these rations are used on some NATO deployments simply because they're easy for the military to get their hands on. So if they have a lack of rations, they hop in and grab some of these guys. And what exactly is this? Fuck if I know. This is a Dardanel menu general purpose individual for 24 hours, and it just so happens to have 3,808 calories, and this is a chunky boy coming in at 2.1 kilograms. I will have all that information up in the front. This thing is definitely just chunky, and if you like it chunky, you know what you could do for this guy? You could totally hit that like button and hit that subscribe button and talk to me in the chat. It is always a great time to hear from you guys. And in this ration review, we will be picking the winner of the ration giveaway for the month, which, in case you're not awares, we are giving away this Japanese Self-Defense Force emergency ration. I ate this one on the channel. It was absolutely bitchin'. Today, we're going to find out which one of my Patreon members gets this ration absolutely free of charge, because that's how we roll around here in Ration Nerd Land. And in case you want to get a really cool ration, I got this one from my really good friend, whose name I will put right up here, who I'm still not even going to try to say it. Just email him. He'll tell you what he has in stock. You tell him what you want to buy. You send him the money on PayPal. He sends you the ration. It's a win-win. Then you get to be a cool guy with a really cool ration. So anyway, let's check this 24-hour Greekish, Turkish? It's a Dardanel civilian ration is what we're going to go with. Anyway, less blabbering, more rationing. So I have to be careful. You know how I like to go at it from the back. And when you go at it from the back, it always pays, ladies and gentlemen, to be careful, because the things in the back are generally a little bit more sensitive in the negative way. So you always want to make sure if you're going at it from the back, you really just want to be extremely gentle, just kind of wiggle things, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to just run right in, because that's a really bad idea. In case you were wondering, if your kids were watching, that's your fault, because this shit is set not for kids, just saying. Anyway, we have to be careful because there's lots of stuff in this package. I mean, this thing is jam-packed, and I can feel packaging all the way up here by the seal seam. So we'll go at this nice and gently, the way you should when you're going in from behind. Oh, look at that surgical precision right there. Yes, now that we've got it all stretched open, it's completely fine. See? Patience, then it's all stretched open, and then you're good to go. So it looks like this is, it's in different sacks. Let's go ahead and lay this thing down and see what we got going on. There is a big old sack right here. Good God almighty, that's a lot of junk. Okay, so we have satchel number 1. We'll call this an accessory sack, because that's kind of what it looks like. Then we have a big-ass pack of whole wheat tortillas. That's badass. That's like a full-size tortilla in a ration. That's actually really epic. Whole wheat tortillas even, going with the long-form carbohydrates. And that is everything out of the bag. So we have another big-ass sack, which looks like a lot of the main items. So here we go. Let's get these tortillas set over here to the side. Let's go through the retort main sack. So we have some flameless ration heaters, not too bad. We get 2 of those guys, made by Lucifer Magtech. Here's a set of instructions to use your FRHs. We really don't need those, but we will go ahead and hold on to them just for shits and giggles. What's that? We have a sack of instant mashed potatoes. You know what? Really a good ration item. Look at that. Buckwheat with vegetable, 175 grams. Very interesting. This is pretty neat. Getting into something absolutely new and unknown to me, and a lot of the community, is a hell of a lot of fun. Sup Angle, not really sure what the hell that's supposed to be. Okay, so this is really neat. This is a completely new item to me. Sup Angle, if I'm even saying that properly, is a popular Turkish chocolate pudding dessert made with a base of cake pieces and topped with a rich, silky chocolate pudding. I mean, I'm all about that. 120 grams of Sup Angle, I'm all about it. May not be saying that properly. I apologize if I'm not, but that's a dessert item, and it sounds absolutely fucking balls out amazing if you ask me. Then we have 250 grams of a beef goulash. That's kind of neat. Then we have another 250 gram retort pouch, which these retort pouches feel like a really close analog to US MRE retort pouch technology, but we have another 250 gram retort pouch of giant beans with tomato salsa. I wonder how big those beans are. I don't know, they don't feel that damn big, but they're a giant beans. Damn it, they had to fuck me up. 250 grams of mackerel. I am not excited about it. You may be. Everyone's mileage may vary when it comes to mains, but we do have 220 grams of mackerel, and that's a hell of a lot of protein. 220 grams of straight fish is great if you eat that trash. And last in our retort sack, we have a mushroom omelet. That is a wet-packed retort item. That could be really bad. It could be really good. I'm not going to judge until I put it in the face. That scares me simply because of my experience with US MRE retort omelets, so I'm not going to judge it until I get it in the face. Now we have this big old sack we have to get in. And I don't want to forget about the tortillas over here. I kind of feel like I'm backseating them, like I'm treating them like the redheaded stepchild. They are an integral part of this ration. Let's see what's in this. A big ass accessory pack. Then we have a 50 gram pack of hazelnut and raisins. Pretty cool. That does look like a stain on the bottom corner there. I don't really feel anything. Hopefully there's nothing wrong with my hazelnuts and raisins. Then we have a 45 gram peanut bar. Sounds amazing. Hopefully it is amazing. I love me some peanuts. That should be nice and sweet, hopefully chewy. Ooh, then we have a sack in a sack. What's going on over here? I don't know what this is all about. Accessories and snack pack. Let's see what's in here. So we have 3 Mylar bags that are gusseted on the bottom, and they have no contents. So I'm just going to have to go out on a limb here and say these are for mixing up food items or for making drinks in. They do have Ziplocs on each one. This was a pretty cool add-on as far as a ration goes. You could mix your drinks up in here. You could mix your coffees up in here, which there better be coffee, and I haven't seen any yet. But that's pretty badass. I mean, they give you just a empty Mylar bag to go ahead and mix your own drinks, maybe even make your mashed potatoes in. I'm not really sure. That's a pretty cool add-on, and realistically, they weigh almost nothing, so what a great idea to have in a ration. Check that out. We have 3 packs of salt and 3 packs of black pepper. Totally doing it right. Ooh, then we have a strange multivitamin gummy. I can't tell if that's many gummies or one big, like, really weird shaping gummy in there. But this is a multivitamin gummy. Pretty cool. Then we have a Lipton Yellow Label tea. Absolutely no hate for using a Lipton tea in this ration. Lipton is a pretty much universally standard excellent tea, so we got some Yellow Label action going on. And last in that bag, we have 3 pieces of Vivident watermelon gum. Kind of on the small side, but really neat that they're all individually packaged. And another accessory kit. I'm loving this thing. This is great. The bag was a little open, but that is all right. So we have a pretty large and in charge. Oh no, multiple napkins. Very cool. We'll count those up in a bit, but we have a good stack of napkins. Not too bad. This thing is spreading out all over the damn place. We have a really big spoon. Actually, you know what? Pretty damn flexible. It's pretty neat though. It's a decent size. It's flexible, so it shouldn't break too easy. Definitely a different spoon to add to the collection. Then we have 3 seemingly large hand sanitizing wipes. Not too shabby. I really like this ration company. 4, count them, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3-in-1 coffees. Absolutely badass. Your coffee, your cream, and your sugar all in the same pack. This is really nice, actually. I'm pretty damn impressed. I'm feeling good about it. I haven't had it yet. You know I need it. The lips are still rented. I'm having a hard time figuring out where the hell to put anything on the table because there's so much crap out here right now. It's a great problem to have when it comes to rations, if I'm being honest. Then we have a 30-gram fruit bar, sour cherry. This thing just keeps on getting better and better. Then we have another 30-gram fruit bar that is blackberry. Sounds amazeballs. Then we have a isotonic beverage. This is either drink number 4 or drink 2. Can't really tell. There's no flavor listed on this thing, so we'll just have to figure it out when we mix it up. But this is for 250 mils in its own gusseted bottom pouch. Really cool. We have an isotonic beverage of unknown flavor. What in the hell is that? This is really cool. This is 20 grams of dried green veggie mix. Gonna have to figure out what in the hell to use this for later, but that is a really neat ration addition, I suppose. This is just some freeze-dried veggies you can add to your food. That's actually really neat. Really cool item. Some freeze-dried green vegetable action. And we have 2 20-gram packages of strawberry jam. There is absolutely nothing wrong with getting 2 20-gram packs of strawberry jam, except for where the hell on the table I'm putting them. And this is an Energy 18 daily bar. One of the main ingredients in this is dates. I'm imagining this is some kind of energy bar, possibly fruit flavored. Might be some grains in here, but at least we know the flavor profile is going to start with dates. Then we have a package of hot cocoa mix. This ration just keeps getting better and better and better the more I get into it. Then we have 3 different drink flavors. We have a lime beverage, we have a peach beverage, we have a melon beverage. We have shit everywhere. This is a lot of fun. And that is everything out of that sack. So we are finally down to the last 2 items in the ration. Some verbena and citrus refreshing towels. You certainly get a lot of options to wipe up your dirty dick beaters in this ration. So if you're eating your ration with filthy dirty dick beaters, it is totally your fault. And especially these guys, you can even make your dirty dick beaters maybe smell like a member of the opposite sex. Who knows? I'm not really sure. We'll have to get a sniff on these at some point during this ration review. Well, my friends, this is everything in a Dardanel 24-hour civilian ration that is apparently used by NATO and potentially the Greek military from time to time. I'm going to have to go through this big pile of mess, figure out exactly what I want to have for breakfast. We know coffee's going to be in there. It's absolutely beyond the pale to think any other way. I imagine we're going to rock some omelet. We'll figure it out here in a few minutes. I'll be right back. This is a great start to a morning. All right, welcome back to breakfast. Can't wait to get into that coffee. Did I happen to mention we're having coffee for breakfast? Hell yeah. We can have coffee 4 times a day in this ration. I've got to say that I really like the way this ration is put together. This is a pretty damn thoughtful affair. There's lots of stuff in this ration that's really cool. 3,800 calories is nothing to shake a stick at. Of course, carrying this thing around might be a real bitch because it's pretty heavy, but at least you've got a hell of a lot of food with you. And speaking of food, what are we having for breakfast? Glad you asked. We're going to have some coffee, obviously. We are going to try that peach-flavored drink. We're going to have our omelet, which I boiled the hell out of. Here at Ration Nerd, it has come to our attention that there are some underserved demographics in our boil footage. So rather than doing a hip-hop boil, this week we will be doing a country boil. So, for all of those who are concerned about such things, we want you to know that we value your opinions and we thoroughly intend to satisfy all demographics here on this channel, because Lord knows, if we don't, something bad will happen. So here goes. Well, I'm standing in my kitchen just boiling up some food, wondering if it's gonna be any good. If you're watching this and you're totally bitching, go make your food in your own fucking kitchen. Yeehaw, bitches. Just like that. Then we're going to try to put some dried veggies on it. Why not? We're going to try that multivitamin gummy. We have some strawberry jam. We also have this sour cherry fruit bar, which really interested me. So there's lots of accessories and extra snacks in this ration. So I figured, why not? Little sour cherry for breakfast. And we have that energy bar to start off our day right. I think what we're going to do is we're going to grab one of those tortillas and maybe make a little half breakfast wrap, half strawberry jam wrap, because I don't really know what else to do with the strawberry jam at this point. So that's how we're going to roll with it. Let's start getting these drinks made up. We'll start out with this 3-in-1 coffee. Just one good slap for that bad boy right there. Let's give that a little snifferoo. That smells really good. It smells like milky coffee right out of the gate. I'm loving that. You know what, Mr. Ration Nerd? It's morning time. Go ahead, treat yourself. Treat yourself. Have 2 3-in-1 coffees. Or make a mess all over the damn ration table. That would be fine, I guess, for everybody that loves to watch me make a mess. And that peach-flavored beverage. No clue. This seems, as small as this is, we're going to start with just a little bit of water. Probably more like a Crystal Light. Packaging isn't very conducive to getting it out without making a mess, but we're going to try like hell. Not a lot of drink mix in there. Absolutely going to be an artificial sweetener, at least one could hope. We'll start out real small on that, give it a second to see if it likes that water or not. Absolutely cannot wait to get the coffee in the face. And we'll get our pretty nifty spoon and get the stir in. And that 3-in-1 coffee, hells yes. And before I soil them too badly, we have 1, 2, 3 napkins, 1 for each meal of the day. No butt wipe, but hey, what are you going to do? That's the only thing I can say about this ration is it needs some butt wipe, although they do give you 3 relatively large but thin napkins. Actually, that's actually 2 napkins, or is it 1 really big folded? No, it's actually 2 really paper thin napkins, and you have a bunch of hand sanitizing wipes and some, maybe these are for butt wipers, not really sure. Kind of small for a butt wiper. Definitely not the worst napkins I've ever seen. Certainly not the best, but that is all right. It's just a napkin. Now that we've seen them, we can soil them. All right, let's check out this a sour cherry fruit bar. I'm looking forward to this guy. That is pretty cool. That just looks like some mashed up fruit. I love me a little fruit bar action. Even in the morning, even though I'm not much of a morning food kind of person, it is today because it's ration day, and I'm going to eat all day long, which is completely abnormal for me. Oh, look at that guy. It's like a big sour cherry fruit leather. That's really cool. Nice and sticky. Certainly not going to be easy to get off your fingers. Probably way better to leave it inside of the package. Bloink. Very, very sticky. Let's check out this energy bar where the main ingredient was dates. And that certainly looks like the main ingredient was dates. So we definitely have some, look how sticky I am. We definitely have some dates and nuts going on in there. Really, you know what? We're going to go for the hand sanitizer wipe because I am sincerely sticky after that cherry bar. That's pretty awesome. Just in case this thing gets a case of the drips, I do not want to drip it on my sour cherry bar. That would be unnecessary roughness. Let's give this thing a, well, it's not extremely strong, but it's also not tearing. It's certainly that weird plasticky kind of like napkin cloth that they've come out with. Not too shabby. Let's get a sniff of it. And that has a very mild like alcohol and I don't know, some other kind of scent to it. Not bad at all. I have a feeling this is definitely nice and wet. I have a feeling that this smell will go away pretty quickly, just evaporate right along with the rest of it. Nice and wet. A little bit thin, kind of rolls up when you're using it because of that really odd, like strange, cottony, plasticky material. Not a bad wet nap though. Certainly knocked the stick off the old dick beaters there. All right, let's see what this multivitamin gummy is all about. I wonder if there's a whole bunch of them in here and you're supposed to have them throughout the day. We're definitely about to find out though. All right, I guess at one point, these were individual gummies of some variety. They look like they were kind of maybe like gummy bears or something. Let me bring those sticky little bastards up to you so you can check them out. They look like they were at one time teddy bears or something like that. That is all right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gummy bears. So we'll have 2 for breakfast. That seems about fair to me. We'll have one really smashed like roadkill teddy bear and another guy. Ooh, they're nice and sticky. We'll save the rest so we can get our multivitamins throughout the day. All right, let's check out this mushroom omelet. Adding fungus to eggs just never seems like a good idea to me. And as you know, I boiled this sucker pretty ferociously. Eggs in a retort pouch just, I don't know, kind of signal bad news to me, but we are going to give it hell, and we're going to go at it with an open mind, just like everything else, to be fair. Ooh, I mean, that kind of looks like a USMRE omelet. Let's bring that up as it is in the package so you can see what I'm about to dig out of here. I'm going to try to get it out of here without all that juice. So what I think I was trying to say earlier, but I don't know if I got the point across, I am going to try to do like half of like a breakfast burrito, and the other half I'm going to use to eat up some of that strawberry jam. We didn't quite get it out there without all the liquid, but you know, you just kind of roll with what you got. We are going to put some of these dehydrated green veggies on there. I have absolutely no clue if I'm using this component correctly. I don't know a damn thing about it, and I don't know anyone that does. So, that's interesting. And that really just smells like dehydrated vegetables. Check that out. Kind of neat. Not sure what the exact contents of that are. Dried green vegetables. Some of them are a little brown. That's all right, though. Try to get all the veggies back in there. Let's see if we can read the contents list. So the ingredients on this little veggie pack are leeks, broccoli, dill, garlic, pocky, whatever that is, Pockey, and green peppers and onions. So not too bad. It also has instructions to rehydrate it with about 20 mils of water. That's all right. We're going to still sprinkle a little bit on our omelet because we already made the plans to do that, and then we will rehydrate them maybe for another meal in the day. But before we add any veggies to it, let's check out this mushroom omelet. Now, to be fair, mushrooms are not my favorite vegetable on the planet, whatever the hell they are, fungus. I'm not a big mushroom fan, but it is what it is. So take a look at that first bite of that omelet, very reminiscent of a US MRE omelet, or vomlet as they say. There's nothing for it. Let's just throw it back in the face and see what this omelet is bringing to my breakfast face. You know what? That's actually not that bad. I am not a mushroom fan, but that doesn't have any weird chemical flavor. It does taste like eggs. It very much tastes like mushrooms. So if you are a mushroom fan, this is absolutely the omelet for you. I'm not a big mushroom fan, but hey, this is still pretty damn decent. It's just kind of okay. It's not horrible. It certainly tastes like eggs. It doesn't taste like weird chemicals, which is always great. But because we have it, and they were kind enough to think about your ration enjoyment, we are going to get some salt and pepper, and we're going to add a little bit of salt and pepper to that guy before we put the dried veggies on, because, I don't know, the dried veggies just seem like a really good idea. Little pepper action, and a little salt. And just for shits and giggles, we're going to toss some of these dried veggies on there, because why not? And while we give those dried veggies a chance to think about how they're going to taste with that omelet, I totally screwed the pooch. The coffee was supposed to go first. I was just kind of excited to get this, I don't know, to get a bite of this omelet. Should have been paying attention to the coffee. I wouldn't have had to have said omelet like 6 times in this conversation. Anyway, we've got that 3-in-1 coffee, a 2-packs in case you weren't counting. Let's give this 3-in-1 coffee a sniff and a big-ass sip. And that smells like a standard Nescafe 3-in-1 coffee. That is actually really good. That coffee is absolutely 100% doable. Nice and sweet, a decent amount of cream. The one reason that makes me believe this might not be a Nescafe 3-in-1 sweet and creamy is because it just has a much more pronounced coffee flavor, unless they contract out Nescafe to make this for them, but they have their own formula that they wanted them to use. That would be my guess. It tastes like a Nescafe 3-in-1, just a hell of a lot stronger. That's really excellent. You guys are going to have to give me a minute while me and this coffee back off the table for a minute and just get a little cuddle. Come here, buddy. So much better. While we're at it, let's check out this peach drink and see if we need to add some more water. Quite honestly, that came out about urine yellow, which is kind of disturbing, but we're going to go ahead and give it a little sniff first. Certainly smells like peach, does not smell like piss. That's a positive thing. Let's try some in the face. Oddly enough, that's just about the right amount of water. So that's about 250 mils, somewhere in that neighborhood. That's very pleasant. Obviously an artificial sweetener, but I have to say it's not overpowering and nasty. It just simply tastes sweet. A lot like the best way I could describe it will be a really high quality peach Crystal Light. It tastes really good. In all honesty, it's just a little bit on the small side, but hey, they did give you 3 of them, so that's pretty bitchin'. And they gave you a shit ton of coffee. What am I talking about? I don't really care about anything else. I just care about this coffee. Me and coffee, we go way back. Let's get back into this omelet. Try this with some of these dried veggie strips chilling out on there. Some leek, some broccoli, some onion. That actually, you know, for an egg product that came out of a bag already wet, normally I like freeze-dried egg products like most normal human beings because they actually taste good. Somehow or the other, this Greekish or Turkish ration, they do eggs absolutely right. If you're going to serve them wet, already hydrated, just easy to heat up, this is pretty badass. Man, that's actually really good. Holy shit. I wasn't expecting that. The added veggies, especially the onions on there, give it a really pronounced flavor, kind of like a vegetable omelet. Now, I'm no great purveyor of fine vegetables. I'm more of a meat guy. But let me tell you, this is actually really good. And I'm not even upset that I didn't hydrate the vegetables. I think them going on here dry was pretty much the play. A little bit crunchy, which is okay, but not hard and chewy in any way. This is a really great ration addition. Hydrated or dehydrated, just add it to your mains for a little bit of, I don't know, flavor boost. Really, really good item. Man, this is shaping up to be a really good day. I will say some of these larger pieces, I'm actually regretting not rehydrating those. The smaller flakes are just fine. The big ones, they can be kind of chewy and weird. That's all right though. We'll rehydrate them either in the sauce of mains later, or maybe we will add the 20 mils of water to that pack and just make a little bit of veggie mix. It's actually really good. Even dry, it's pretty banging. I am thoroughly surprised and really tickled that this egg and mushroom omelet is actually edible. And quite frankly, it's pretty damn good for a ration item, especially considering it was pre-prepared, wet-packed eggs. Absolutely great. I mean, I could have done without the mushrooms. Just plain egg would have been fine with me, but honestly, I don't really even notice that they're there. It already tastes like mushrooms, so I'm just eating the mushrooms. I don't really give a shit. If there was only some ketchup in this ration, oh, shit. I said I was gonna... Now, that's when you know you have a good ration item. When you're sitting here plowing through it, and I just happened to look up in the corner of the tray and saw that packet of strawberry jam and said to myself, what in the hell am I doing with that? And then I remembered that I said I was going to put some of this on a tortilla to make like a breakfast burrito and use the other half of the tortilla for the strawberry jam, so I better get one of them damn tortillas before I screw the pooch on that. Let's check out this big old sack of tortillas. This is awesome. Whoa. Look at that. Now that right there is awesome. We'll get rid of that. And then you're seeing 3 very large tortillas. These aren't some little baby USMRE tortillas that break in the middle every time you fold them. Check those out. Whole wheat tortillas in a big ass package. That is absolutely awesome. And a Ziploc pouch so you can keep them fresh. I'll tell you what, whoever designed this ration put a hell of a lot of thought into this. This is awesome. So we'll just go ahead and tear that right down the middle so we can get a little half and half action. Half for the jam, half for the breakfast burrito, which if I had some ketchup, I'd be stoked about this. I know everybody's different. I like ketchup on my eggs. I know some people will turn their nose up at that. But you know what? All you people out there that stick Tabasco on your eggs, you're making me want to vomit when I watch you do it. So it is what it is. So we're just going to throw all that on there, make ourselves a little veggie omelet burrito action. Pretty awesome. That's actually, if I had ketchup, I'd be super excited about this. But I suck at rolling burritos, if you couldn't tell, so you'll have to forgive me on that. But here we are. Now we have a veggie omelet breakfast burrito action. You know you're jelly. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want a bite? Bite? Your bite? No? Okay, fuck. If you were here, I would totally give you a bite, because that's how I roll. I like to share. Let's get some of this in the face and check out that whole wheat tortilla turned into a little breakfast burrito. That is actually really good. Like, no bullshit. No, this isn't like a breakfast burrito that you get at a restaurant or that you'd cook up in your kitchen. But as far as pre-prepared ingredients goes, the only way this would be any better is if you had this pack of tortillas and you had a Mountain House like freeze-dried, like bacon and eggs, or whichever freeze-dried Mountain House egg breakfast menu you want to throw in here. That's the only thing that would make this better. So aside from a freeze-dried Mountain House breakfast main, this is about as good as it gets as far as breakfast burritos go. I'm pretty impressed. Oh, I'm going to have to move this ass today. This is a lot of food. This is actually filling me up really fast. I'm not sure if that's just me or if those eggs are just hitting my stomach like a brick. This is very filling. I'm not normally a morning eater, so take that for what it is. But this is actually a really filling little main. That was quite a bit of eggs. And we got that last burrito bite coming your way. That's actually really good. No bullshit. I'm actually really enjoying this. Mushrooms and all. All things considered, that omelet was the bomb. Let's check out this tortilla and strawberry jam. Nice, simple items. What we're really looking for here is, does the tortilla taste nasty? And the answer to that is absolutely not. For a shelf-stable tortilla, it tastes exactly like a tortilla, which is what you'd want. Now we have this strawberry jam. Let's check this out for quality and consistency. So it is a little bit on the thin side. That's all right. Bring that up so you get a nice look at that strawberry jam. Let's toss it back in this big ass pie hole of mine and see what it tastes like. Well, son of a bitch, that is really good. That has a very, very vibrant strawberry flavor. Very sweet, almost a little too sweet, but the really powerful strawberry flavor literally knocks your socks off. It's absolutely great. I am going to really enjoy having this strawberry jam. I don't think I would even need anything to put it on. I could just eat the strawberry jam all by itself. I'm going to get every drop of that stuff. You can see fruit pulp in there and some strawberry seeds. Obviously, strawberries were harmed in the making of this strawberry jam, which is exactly what you want when you're looking at a big-ass container of strawberry jam to put on something. Hell yeah. You can see it's not the thickest consistency ever, but man, it has such a great flavor, I really could give a shit less. I don't care if it's running down my tortilla or not. It absolutely has an amazing strawberry flavor, and I'm going to take advantage of every bite of that strawberry goodness when I make my little strawberry jam roll. Hell if I know. Probably going to taste good, though. And oddly enough, that's a great little combination. That soft, chewy wheat flour tortilla with the strawberry jam in there is reminiscent of some kind of weird cookie. Maybe this wasn't their intended use for the tortillas, but it certainly is mine, and it's yummy as shit. That's amazing. Get one tortilla for every meal of the day. I really dig this ration. This thing, at least so far, is really doing it up right. Let's get a nice little palate cleanser before we move on to that energy bar. Coffee. So let's check out this energy bar. Not sticky in any way, shape, or form. Break that open so you guys get a cross section of it. I have a feeling this is just a date and nut bar. It's pretty dry. We'll check it out once we get it in the face to see how dry it really is or is not, but let's get a bite of that thing and see what this energy bar is bringing to breakfast. Oh, wow. That is not standard at all. That's really good. You could definitely taste the dates. It's almost like eating the insides out of a fig Newton. Now, I know fig Newtons are made of figs, and this is mainly comprised of dates, but that is the flavor profile. It's almost like dates and molasses and sugar, a mild hit of citrus somewhere, almost if like there's some orange essence in this. I'm not saying that there is. That's just what the flavor tastes like. This is chewy, yummy, soft, easy to eat, really, really pleasant taste. I'll tell you what, this day is getting off to a rockin' start. I'm going to eat the rest of this energy bar because it's frankly fucking yummy as hell. And let's break into this sticky ass sour cherry fruit bar. Let's get this thing in the face and see what it's all about. I mean, wow, that's really good. This is really just a fruit leather. And when they say sour cherry, what they really mean is that this is not an overly bearing, super sweet cherry bar. It has a really nice cherry flavor, not overly sweet. Just a tiny hint of the sour cherry. Not enough that if you didn't like anything sour cherry, you probably wouldn't even know. If you didn't read the package, you would just assume this is a not very sweet cherry bar. Absolutely amazing natural flavor of cherries. Almost like they put no artificial flavors in this at all. I'm going to have to get the rest of this in the face so I don't fuck up this flavor with whatever flavor those multivitamin gummies are. This deserves its own day in court, and we're going to keep on doing that. This thing is absolutely amazing. And as much as I hate to do a palate cleanser, because that fruit leather, that sour cherry fruit bar, was absolutely off the hook. Like, no bullshit. Not like just as a ration item, but as a food item in general. That cherry fruit bar was absolutely really good. Quality stuff. But we are going to cleanse the palate with some of this peach drink. You know, this stuff isn't too bad. It certainly looks like you're drinking a glass of piss, which is a little bit disturbing. They probably want to change the color on this because you could mistake that for somebody's like, yeah, whatever. A little bit small of a portion, but a really good drink. And you know, we got to take our vitamins, so we're just going to rock out with both of these smashed up little gummy multivitamins. Just toss them in the face. Quite honestly, those vitamins make me believe that they are completely false. They taste absolutely nothing like vitamins. No taste of vitamin B, no taste of vitamin C, none of the other really strong flavors that are associated with the multivitamin. That's okay. They're just really sweet gummy candies. I guess I'm not going to eat them all at one sitting just in case there might be some vitamins kicking around in there. but in all honesty, those just taste like gummy candies to me, which I'm kind of okay with. And we don't want to be that guy, the guy that doesn't finish his breakfast coffee. Well, my friends, that was breakfast. We are off to a roaring start with this thing. This ration seems like it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. Breakfast was a rip-roaring good time, but that was pretty filling, so I think you're going to have to wait about 4 hours to see me again. I don't normally eat that heavy in the morning, as my frequent flyers will know, so it's going to take me a bit to recover from this. And while you're waiting for me to come back for lunch, you really ought to go get yourself a cup of coffee and get yourself a really nice hydrating glass of water and just double fist those damn things. Coffee, water, coffee, water, coffee, water. Hydrate yourself. It's really good for you. I'll see you in a bit. All right, my friends. Well, welcome back to lunch, and goddamn, this is a busy ration table. I absolutely love that. I love rations that have lots of components, lots of options for the person using the ration, which is usually a soldier. So I think if a soldier got this ration, at least so far, I mean, I'm only at lunchtime, but you know what? I'm feeling like they'd be pretty damn happy about it. Anyway, we're going to check out that isotonic beverage, figure out what flavor that is. We're also going to get into one of those lime drinks. We have a 3-in-1 coffee because why not? Because you get a metric shit ton of them, which is absolutely awesome. We have some mashed potatoes. We have a peanut butter bar, giant beans with tomato sauce. We have some mackerel. You all know how I feel about that. The vegetables are making a return trip, and they're going to be added to the mashed potatoes, or at least most of them will. We also have those hazelnuts and raisins. We have 3 sticky-ass vitamins just kind of stuck to the tray like Spider-Man. We're also going to get into another tortilla, and we're going to try to mix up that drink in one of the provided Mylar bags, which is really cool. First things first, though, before we even mess with the drinks, we got to get this food heating up. Fish is already kind of a no-go for me, so I have no desire to heat it up. I'm just going to try it cold, but I am going to get these beans heating up in one of the FRHs that are provided, so no boil footage for you, at least not for this meal. We'll see how that works. So let's grab one of these flameless ration heaters. Something tells me I have seen this brand before, but at this point, I'm not sure there's too many brands of flameless ration heaters I haven't seen yet. All right, and this is one of those FRHs where the actual heating element is glued to the inside of the bag. No big deal. That is okay. We'll get our main in there. We'll get some water in this thing, and then we will hopefully have a nice hot main. Let's check it out. And that started making some noise pretty much. Oh, that started making some noise and some heat. Absolutely, like burn my fingers made some heat. That's awesome. We'll leave our little coffee towel down there to insulate the ration from that cold piece of marble. And then this guy can do its thing. And that thing has only been in there for about 15 seconds. We're already getting a pretty good exothermic reaction. All right, well, it's not very explosive or crazy or anything, but it is working. It did start working really fast. And you can see all the steam coming out of there. If you stare at the corner hard enough and while the camera's working well, that thing's nice and steamy. I have a good feeling that those beans are going to come out nice and hot. All right, that FRH has been going at it for about 10 minutes whilst I was away. Let's give it a last little bit of time. Let's get these drinks mixed up, that coffee. And for the lime drink, we're going to try out one of these drink mix bags they sent along. Nice little gusseted bottom, you know, if you didn't have a mess kit, or even if you did and you didn't have anything to drink out of, or you didn't want to soil your canteen with this stuff, this is a great, absolutely great way to mix these up. So I'm going to do my best to put the water in first, and then put the lime powder in on top of it. No tear notches on those little packages. That's okay, though. This is a really cool ration. I'm really jazzed about all the crazy components in here. Ooh, that drink mix doesn't look great in there, but we're going to give it its day in court no matter what. Just kind of chunk that little brick of drink mix in there. Shake that like it owes us money. And that little baby Ziploc pouch worked surprisingly well. I like it. I like it a lot. Let's see how our drink mix fared. Well, I suppose that looks a tiny little bit more green than the peach did. It still looks like a glass of piss. That's all right, though. Those little mixing bags are a great idea, and now we're going to move on to the much larger version, the isotonic beverage, which I still don't know what flavor this is. We're about to find out, though. Nice little tear on that Mylar pouch. And the Ziploc bag is actually closed, which means I didn't get powder all over the place. That's a really nice touch. Let's see. That just looks like white powder. It certainly smells like vitamins. That's odd. It smells like all the vitamins from those gummies went in there. But let's hydrate it and see what we get. All right, and that Ziploc was starting to fail there at the end, or I was just shaking it like a gorilla. Maybe a little of column A and a little of column B. That's all right, though. Oh, just flinging it everywhere. That's excellent. Let's see what this isotonic beverage looks like. And that isotonic beverage looks like a cloudy glass of piss. I'm really sorry, but you're seeing it. And last but not least, the coffee. And just so we can say we did, we'll get everybody a mix. And this ration really does have a lot of components. That absolutely tickles me to death. Let's check out these hazelnuts and raisins. That smells pretty delectable in there. Lots of snack options. Some nice golden raisins. Some hazelnuts. That looks pretty damn good to me. And that peanut bar. I gotta say, I'm pretty excited about the peanut bar. If I'm being honest, I'm a peanut butter fiend. And I like peanuts in general, but this thing, look at that. Smells pretty damn good too. So I really don't know where the hell to put this fish. There's just so much going on here. I guess I just kind of have to do it. I kind of have to dump the fish somewhere on the tray. I really don't want to, but I'm going to. Mainly because I know a lot of you out there do like seafood, and I am probably in the minority as far as that is concerned. So that is one of the reasons why we give everything its day in court here on Ration Nerd, even a, man, I was hoping that was like a big fish steak. It's totally not. That's a whole lot of chunky pieces of mackerel. Oh, take a look at that. Maybe that's somebody's wet dream as far as a ration goes, but this guy, that is not me. Really glad I'm getting this out of the way now. Won't spoil my dinner. Probably just should have had mackerel for breakfast. Since this isn't like a big steaky piece of fish, we're just gonna just kind of spoon it out onto the tray. You never know. It smells really fishy. Normally when things have that really extreme fishy flavor, I'm not into them at all, but we're just gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. And it does look like it's packed in oil. That could certainly help with the overly fishy, stanky aroma or taste. Oh, that is a ton of fish with the skin on it. Oh, please don't get in my raisins and hazelnuts, damn it. All right, that's all the chances I am taking. Ooh, at least it's packed in oil. That's what I can say. We are going to use one of the plethora of napkins they give you. Well, maybe not a plethora, but a good amount. And get some of the nasty fishiness off of this spoon. Get that nasty fish oil off of my tray and away from my other food items. Whew. All right, so I'm just gonna have to mess up this mess cup to get our potatoes and veggies mixed up. What I am gonna do is chuck a little bit of the veggies in the bottom, and then I'm gonna add some water. Then I'm gonna put potatoes in on top. That's getting a nice long time to heat up because I'm jibber jabbering. This is a really excellent ration component. I really like this little bag of dehydrated veggies. This is absolutely awesome. Gonna make my, actually, you know what? It is gonna make my potatoes awesome. And I'm just gonna go ahead and split what I have for dinner and what I have for lunch. We're gonna have some veggie mash. Why not? I mean, we have them. We're certainly gonna use them. Really cool ration item. I love that. Give those veggies a little stir so we can start hydrating those suckers. So we don't have any like super chewy pieces of like broccoli or something that are like ravaging your teeth. Not very attractive sitting there like that. Kind of looks like some wet lawn clippings. That's all right. It certainly doesn't taste like that. Let's get our mashed potatoes in there. I mean, there's nothing special or sexy about mashed potatoes, but they sure are good and they really fill a person up. So I'm all about having some mashed potatoes in a ration. That is good shit right there. God, that fish smells so bad. If you're me sitting at this table right now, you're really regretting having the fish. I mean, I maybe just should have opened it up and shown it to you guys and been like, nah, that's not me. I haven't taken any bites yet, but I have a feeling that those veggies made those mashed potatoes pretty exceptional. Let's go ahead and get those out on the tray. They're about the right consistency for me. Mashed potato time. All the mashed potatoes, please. And let's see how our FRH worked out. I have a feeling it did a great job. It roared to life, and it did a pretty damn good job. That's almost too hot to hold on to for too long. It's not crazy, like flaming hot like I just boiled it, but it's certainly warm enough to enjoy a nice hot meal. Let's check out these giant beans. These terra nachos are more just like a suggestion. They're not really real. All right, so what's Giant Beans got going on for me? Ooh, that looks interesting. Huh, they are pretty big-ass beans. Not too shabby. You know, only coming in at a 250-gram portion. I'm going to make sure we get all of that sauce out of there. Ooh, still nice and hot. That is very cool. All the sauce. Can't forget that tortilla, just in case we want some bread to go with this. This is a really, really cool ration. I am totally geeking out on it. If the fish wasn't fish, I'd be super happy about this, but you know, not everybody's like me. A lot of people love seafood, so this might be your jam. As a matter of fact, we'll go ahead and get that out of the way for you guys. Actually, more like get it out of the way for this guy. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna grab a big old bite because I'm gonna be a trooper. I'm gonna take one for the team. We're just gonna get we're gonna get a big nasty spoon of this mackerel, and I say nasty with my opinion, not yours. Totally understand this might be your jam, but check that out. That is some retort pouch mackerel for your viewing pleasure right there. Like, really wish you were here to take this bite, seriously. But here we go. We're just gonna stuff it in our face and stop thinking about it. There is a piece of fish in my raisins. All right, now you guys know I am honest about everything, even if I don't like it. And I have to say, as far as a seafood item goes, that mackerel's not that hateful. It's extremely meaty. I have yet to find a bone in there, which is really good. And it's not as fishy as it smells. I really think that has to do with the fact that this was packed in oil, and God love them for doing that, because I have a feeling, as fishy as this smells, this would taste extraordinarily fishy if it were not packed in oil, but it was. So I could eat this if I were extraordinarily hungry. I'm not going to finish off the whole pile, but I'm going to have a few more bites, because quite honestly, as far as seafood goes, this is mild, it's meaty. If I had something to really hide the flavor of the fish, this would just kind of fade into the background of something else. So much to do on this dinner plate. It's such a good time. We're going to grab a sip of this pretty damn good 3-in-1 coffee to get the fish taste out of our mouth before we move on to anything else. Not bad at all. Let's check out these mashed potatoes. I'm really interested to see how these turned out with all those little veggie pieces in there. Let's bring you guys a bite up so you can see it with your eyeballs. That's the mash with all the veggies added. Let's get a bite of that. The vegetables could use a little bit more hydration, so if you are lucky enough to get your hands on one of these, I highly recommend pre-hydrating the veggies. And these are really plain, basic bitch mashed potatoes. There's really no seasoning or butter flavor in there to speak of, so the veggies really save the mashed potatoes. So we're going to go ahead and chuck some salt and pepper on there. We have some already opened and left over from earlier, so we're going to salt those taters. And you know we got to get that pepper on there and get that all nice and stirred up, as I'm always making a mess. Like, I just can't get away from it, no matter what I do. Like, I need a tray that goes under my tray to catch all the mess that comes off of my tray. That's what I need. But that would be like trayception. Then I would have 2 trays to clean. That's kind of a bitch. Let's get some of these mashed potatoes with the veggies with the salt and pepper added. And that's much better. Salt and pepper really made that mashed potato and vegetable flavor pop. Those are actually really good with the salt and pepper and the veggies added. That's the way to do it. If you're like me and you don't like seafood, if you wind up with a pouch of this mackerel, it's not the fishiest fish I've ever had. I've had some tuna that was actually fishier than this stuff. If you really don't like seafood, mix it with the mashed potatoes, at least one bite at a time, and you'll be able to get it down. You'll get all that nice fish oil, protein, fat, all the good stuff that's in fish that I don't like the flavor of, and you'll get the calories out of it. Let's move on to these giant beans and tomato sauce. So it definitely looks like there are some tomatoes and carrots and really large beans in here. I have a feeling This is destined for some salt and pepper, but we'll take the first bite without anything added. So that's those giant beans in the face. And that's not at all what I expected, to be quite honest. It has a bit of a bitter flavor I'm really not accustomed to. I'm not sure what that is. I'm going to go ahead and just get another bite of it. That's totally a flavor collision. That is very, very mild, but also bitter. The beans are cooked really well, really large. They've kind of broken down a bit and made the sauce a bit thicker, which is definitely nice. This is certainly going to need some salt and pepper. I would just think of like a stewed tomato with some well-cooked large beans. There's not much in the way of seasoning or flavoring in this, so the salt and pepper that they most graciously provided is absolutely going to be necessary for these guys. They do give you a good amount of salt, but I'm really excited about the fact that they really give you a good amount of finely ground black pepper. This ration could use a little bit of hot sauce, if I'm being honest, but at least they gave you salt and pepper. Can't complain too much. Well, I guess I can, but it's not really going to do any good because I don't think Dardanel is watching this video going, oh, we've got to add some hot sauce now. Maybe they are. That would be pretty bitchin'. And I kind of had an epiphany. I'm pretty sure that might be a butt wipe, but we're going to figure it out. Today on Ration Nerd, we wipe our ass on camera. Nope, no we don't. Anyway, let's try the beans and tomatoes with some salt and pepper added, see if that fixes this situation. Honestly, sometimes I'm 100% amazed when you get an item like this and it just tastes kind of odd, maybe because it has flavors in it I'm not used to. Then you throw some salt and pepper in it and bam, it just turns into some pretty decent tasting beans. There's not a lot going on in here. It is a good protein boost, lots of farts to like fuck with your camping buddies or your fellow soldier. It certainly isn't the most favorite thing I've ever had in a main dish. It is a little different, so I'm excited about it. The beans are pretty good. I happen to like beans. The sauce is just kind of okay. It's not the most interesting thing on the planet, but you know what it is? Perfectly edible. Maybe these two guys were an absolute match made in heaven. Let's bring a big old scoop of the taters over here. Mix some of these kind of sour tomato beans. That's what I'm calling it. Sour tomato beans. Mix it with the mashed potatoes. That's probably going to be a win. That's totally the jam right there. Little mashed potatoes with the veggies and the beans. That makes everything really interesting. I'm telling you, this little bag of dehydrated veggies is a wonderful idea for a ration. Doesn't weigh much, only comes in at 20 grams. You rehydrate this, you have a whole bunch of veggies. Some people say veggies are good for you. Hey, at least you have some veggies, but it's certainly a way to make things taste a hell of a lot more interesting. Hooked up these potatoes 100%, and now the potatoes are hooking up the beans. That's a win as far as I'm concerned. Oh yeah, no. Tomato and fish, just accentuates it. Not good. Not good for this guy anyway. If you wanted to make the flavor of that fish more prominent in your face, go ahead and take that fish and dump it in your giant beans with tomato sauce. You'll be happy if you like that fishy flavor. Me, not so much. I'm forgetting all about this tortilla over here. I think it might be like strawberry jam time again. Let's go ahead and just rip that right down the middle. That is a really large, really great quality tortilla. 100% truth. That is awesome. So we're just going to go ahead and slam some mashed potatoes on there. Why? I don't know. Got to have something to do with this stuff. I guess I could just kind of dip it in there if I wanted to, but what fun would that be? And then we'll try to roll ourselves a little mashed potato, tomato, bean burrito? I don't know. Flatbread. Nature's mess maker. And it's good with the tortilla. These tortillas are definitely high quality. Really good. I know that's not much to say because tortillas are really basic items, but there's a big difference between a crappy tortilla and a good tortilla, and this falls in the good, high-quality tortilla family. And that's an absolute mess. But it is okay. I don't care if I'm wearing some beans and mashed potatoes on my shirt. It's all in the name of having a lot of fun, and this ration, this lunch, is certainly a good bit of fun. Oof, that hits your stomach like a brick. I am getting really full really fast. And here is that last bite of that very messy, not very attractive at this point, mashed potatoes with added dehydrated vegetables and the giant beans and tomato sauce. Not the greatest thing I've ever had, but certainly not bad. Feast your eyes on that. That's the last bite going in the face hole. had to go back for the rest of it. It's actually pretty damn good. And this is, I'm still not exactly sure who to congratulate for this ration, but Greece, turkey, doesn't matter which one of you did it. Damn good job. All right, let's see what we have in the isotonic beverage department. Let's figure out what flavor this thing is. Smells like lemon and B vitamins. Holy shit. Ugh. That is the one item I've had so far that I absolutely don't like, other than the fish, and even that was mildly bearable. That isotonic beverage is fucking horrible. Like, I suppose if I was like trapped in a desert and that was the only drink I had, eventually I would get around to drinking it. But I'm not sure if I'd want to drink my own urine first or that. I mean, seriously, probably that, but it's pretty damn bad. Let's check out the regular lime beverage. Okay, all right. Dardanel, please stop making lime beverages. You have no clue what you're doing. Both of them are really sour, have a weird, funky, absolutely artificial lime flavor that you have not mastered in any way, shape, or form. Do yourselves and everyone else that gets these rations a favor. Get rid of these flavors. You don't know what you're doing with lime, just get them out of there. Make this peach, add another peach or some other flavor, because your lime drink sucks the cock. That is just not good at all. So let's let's move on to this raisins and hazelnuts. These actually look really good. Nice golden raisins. Get that up there so you can see it, and then get it in my face so I can taste it. Something in that tastes a little odd. I'm going to go ahead and just grab a couple of the hazelnuts. They had kind of a stale flavor to them. Maybe I'm just not used to having hazelnuts and raisins together. Let me try a couple of the hazelnuts on their own. That's weird. The hazelnuts certainly aren't stale. Let's get some of those raisins solo, see if we can isolate what's going on. It might just be the combination of the golden raisins and the hazelnuts is just odd to me because I don't normally put the two together. Let's check it out. And honestly, those raisins are really good. I'm not accustomed to having raisins and hazelnuts together. Did kind of throw me for a little bit of a flavor loop, if you will. These are well-roasted hazelnuts, no salt, which is kind of a bummer. The hazelnuts are actually pretty damn yummy, though. I'm not sure if I love them with the raisins, but I think I have a solution for that. So we have a half a tortilla, and we have some strawberry jam, and a lot of ration components still to get through, so we're going to put that strawberry jam out on our tortilla here and get ready to make another mess because, well, that's what we do. And if this was your ration, you'd probably be making a damn mess out of it too. Rescue that spoon out of there and get that jam spread out nice and thin all over that tortilla. You know where we're going with this. You gotta know by now. We're about to make a strawberry raisin hazelnut wrap. Sounds great, right? We're all about the burritos up here on Ration Nerd. We're just going to make a little roll out of it. Yes, get them all in there, get them nice and evenly distributed, and then we'll roll this sucker up and just have a good time with it and make a mess. All right, well, there you go. There's your dessert roll right there. I'm not sure if that's Turkish, Mexican, Greek, Ration Nerdian. Not really sure. We're going to take a bite of it and see what that's all about. And this thing right here is a 5-star ration item. That is your hazelnut strawberry raisin jelly roll. That is absolutely banging. It has a really nice sweet flavor. The raisins bring a different kind of sweetness to it. Strawberry jam is nice and sweet. The tortilla, being plain, works perfect with it. This thing, it's a mess, but it's absolutely great. I think somewhere along the way, somebody took all the contents of these vitamin gummy bears and drop them into the lime drinks, and that's why the lime drinks taste like shit. Those things are really nasty. These guys, however, are just going to be like having a sweet-ass gummy bear. Highly doubt there's any vitamin content in these. Not a chance. Either they've managed to make the best-tasting chewable vitamin on the entire face of the planet, or they're not being genuine about what's actually in those gummy bears. It doesn't really matter, though. Let's get a palate cleanser. No, fuck that. Let's get a palate cleanser to get ready for that peanut butter bar. And that'll certainly do it. 3-in-1 coffee wins every time. So check this out. It has a nice smooth texture on the outside. We'll get that bad boy broken open for you so you can get a little cross section on that. This really feels like a partially dry piece of fudge. I'm kind of jazzed about this. I'm really hoping this thing rocks out with the cock out because I've been looking forward to it ever since I took it out of the bag. So let's give it a little sniff. And that definitely smells like roasted peanuts, which is always a plus. Let's get a bite. And that's really good. It's got a really nice natural peanut butter flavor. No artificial sweeteners, just mildly sweet, which is kind of nice. If they would have added enough sugar, this would have been like having peanut butter fudge in your ration. But I really kind of prefer it like this. You could eat this at any time of the day. It's just sweet enough that it ticks over into the might be a dessert category, but it's not so sweet that if you were in the mood for something savory, that this wouldn't kind of scratch that itch as well. It's a little bit tough. Takes a little bit of work to chew it, but quite honestly, you can taste the absolute peanut content in here. There is lots of ground up peanuts in this, not only in the form of peanut butter, but as you can see, little peanut hunks hanging around in there. This is a really yummy ass peanut butter bar. A little bit sweeter, and it would be a straight up dessert, but quite honestly, I kind of prefer it the way that it is. Well, everybody, that was lunch. I'm full as hell, and I didn't even finish my fish. I'd like to say if you want that fish, just send me your address and I'll mail it to you, but I'm pretty sure that would make the envelope all soggy and the U.S. Postal Service wouldn't deliver that shit. Oh, and I'll be back in about 4 hours, because this was a lot of food, so it's going to take me about 4 hours to recover from this. I'll see you guys later. All right, my friends, welcome back to dinner. It has definitely been about 4.5 hours since you guys saw me last. This has been a bitchin' ration so far, and we're going to get into it. It's totally dinner time. We're going to try that lemon-flavored beverage, some Lipton Yellow Label tea, some hot cocoa. We're going to toss some water in here to rehydrate some of these veggies to go with dinner. We've got that awesome, well, hopefully awesome, Turkish dessert, the supangle, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean. We have this blackberry fruit bar. We have some gum. We also have our buckwheat with vegetables, and we have our beef goulash, and both of these have been boiled furiously. No boil footage for you. That was enough earlier. I was singing and shit. And we've got our tortilla, which we'll get to here in just a second. First thing I want to do is get these veggies out, which, again, I gotta say, I think this was an excellent idea to add to every ration. Get some veggies. Oh, and we have our probably not really multivitamins, gummy bear candies up there on the tray. And I gotta tell you, that mess cup is a total pain in the ass to wash out, so it didn't make it to dinner. So we're just gonna have to deal with this guy right here out and pour water all over the tray because I'm clumsy. Whew, that's hot as hell. We're gonna get these veggies all nice and mixed up. Hopefully get these a little bit pre-hydrated before we very likely wind up adding them to our meal, because this veggie mix was actually really good. It still looks like somebody mowed their lawn and chucked a handful of it in my tray. That is all right. We're gonna let that hydrate while we are playing around with everything else. So let's get these drinks made up real quick while our veggies are rehydrating. We've got that melon. This one actually stayed powdered, which is nice. Those lime drinks at lunchtime, the isotonic and the regular lime drink like this, totally sucked. I don't know what they were thinking with lime. Still looks like a glass of piss. Somebody needs to go to Food Coloring 101 to give us a little bit of a different perspective on the drink mixes. We've got that classic Lipton Yellow Label tea, which I'm struggling to get open here. Let's give that a little sniff. Yes, now that is what tea is supposed to smell like. Absolutely excellent. And let's check out this hot cocoa mix. Let's give that a little sniff before we put it in the glass. I mean, that smells a little bit more dark and rich than like your standard hot cocoa mix. Hopefully this doesn't need sugar, because that's the one thing you didn't get with this ration was any sugar at all. Not that you really needed it so far. All right, and we'll let that tea get its steep on, and we'll get that hot cocoa stirred up. That looks dark and rich and amazing. I really hope that it is. That will be absolutely awesome. Look how that, like, just the viscosity on that just kind of sticks to the spoon. That's pretty epic. Love it. Now we'll stir up this this melon drink. I really want to see what this sup angle is all about. This Turkish pudding. Looking forward to it. Oh, squirted on me. That's always good. Let's get that out there. Dessert. Ooh, yeah, pudding. So it just looks like I know it said it had cake pieces in it. I'm not seeing any of that. It does look like a nice chocolate pudding coming out of there. So Having a little sack-o pudding is never a bad idea. Hopefully it's much better than just standard pudding, but we're going to find that out here shortly. We're going to squeeze every last little drop out of there because it could be the best pudding on the planet. Or it could just be like snack pack in a bag. Nobody really knows. Now we're going to get this buckwheat and vegetables out on the tray. That's still nice and hot from boiling, which is always good. They really need to redefine their tear notches here. Ooh, look at that. That's very fragrant. Almost smells like there's some, like almost cilantro in there. Smells really good. Take a look at that inside the sack. Let's get that out on the tray. Ooh, that is just not your standard buckwheat porridge. That is good stuff right there. Lots of veggies hanging out in there. I like it. That's a pretty epic looking side dish if you ask me. And let's see what this beef goulash is bringing to the dinner plate. I can say these are nice, thick retort pouches, but the tear notches pretty much suck. That is one thing I don't like. Well, this is very much liquid, so let's just dump this out on the tray and have at it. This is, looks like soup, a big messy soup, as I'm splashing it all over the damn place. Wow, the smell coming off of that is super savory. You can smell the beef. You can absolutely smell the tomato in there. That smells really good. Yes, let's get this blackberry fruit bar out of here. I'm really excited about this guy. Even if the pudding sucks, I have a feeling this blackberry fruit leather or fruit bar is going to be epic because I really like blackberries. If we can get this open without making a complete goddamn mess out of ourselves, which is pretty much impossible, it seems. Let's see if we can just, can't squeeze it out of there. Why has everything got to be so complicated? There we go. Let's get it out of there. Come on now. Trying to get it out of there in one piece. It was fighting me every step of the way, but that blackberry bar, now that is a healthy looking tray of food. That's pretty awesome. That beef goulash looks amazing. Oh, we forgot our tortilla. And this time we can just enjoy it with the food. We don't have to use it for any kind of like crazy dessert ideas. The onions and the broccoli are like the predominant flavor in this vegetable mix, and that is quite okay with me. This stuff has an amazing flavor. I really enjoyed adding it to the other items in this ration, and I really wish more ration manufacturers would pick up this baton and run with it, because this is just a great idea. Having a way to season your food and get some veggies into a soldier if you really think that's necessary. Such a great idea. And let's start it out by checking out this Lipton Yellow Label tea. This is probably the most standard item we have here that we've seen 100 times. So let's get a little sip of this Lipton Yellow Label, no sugar, all by itself. And Lipton really is like the gold standard in tea. Not that it's the best tea ever on the planet. I've had other tea that was really good, just as good, or even better than Lipton, but it's always going to make a good, acceptable cup of tea for just about anybody. Really enjoy the Lipton Yellow, great choice. Now, just for fun, to see what we have as a palate cleanser, let's check out this a melon sugar-free drink. That is very, very interesting. That one has much more potent artificial sweetener flavor than the others did. This could probably use a little bit more water, but the melon flavor in that is really interesting. It kind of tastes like a cross between a cantaloupe and a honeydew melon. That's actually really good, minus the artificial sweetener. If they were to take that flavoring and put it in with regular sugar, that would probably be one of the best ration drinks ever. First thing we're going to start out is checking out this goulash. So we have some green peppers in here. There's a good piece of onion right there. This beef looks nice and tender. Nice fat content you can see out here on the sides. Nice beef fat, maybe even some added vegetable oil or something in there. So green peppers, onions, some small tomato hunks, and all this really nice looking beef. And that's all I want to say about it. What I want to do now is I want to get a little bit of that broth, some of the beef, a couple of veggies, bring it up to you so you can see what I'm about to stick in my face. And let's give that beef goulash a try. And that beef goulash is really good. The beef itself is a little bit on the tough side, so it's very likely they use some kind of much cheaper cut of beef for this. That is just fine by me though. It definitely gives you something to chew on. You probably couldn't eat this in a rip, roar, and hurry because you actually need to take some time and chew these pieces of beef, but the beef itself has a great flavor. If you're familiar with that really savory, really rich beef flavor that you get from a pot roast or some of the cheaper cuts of meat out of a cow, has a great, absolutely wonderful beef flavor. That sauce is excellent. You can taste the tomatoes, the peppers, the onions, the seasoning. This stuff is a really high quality item. I kind of wish I would have saved the mashed potatoes and mixed it in with the goulash. So before I say what I think I'm going to say, let me get another bite of this before I give you the ultimate goulash verdict. And that's really good. Not just for a ration item, but for beef goulash in general. Now, I'm no great connoisseur of beef goulash. My entire history of beef goulash really comes from rations. One thing I can say, this is the absolute best beef goulash I have had in any ration, and I've had a fair few portions of beef goulash, both on and off the channel. This is absolutely amazing. This does not taste like it came out of a bag. It really tastes like something you'd get in a restaurant. Maybe there would be some more ingredients in here or some more prominent vegetables, but you know what? We've got that covered right over here if we really want to. I don't really want to mess up the taste of this. Maybe I might add a little bit of black pepper, but quite honestly, this is perfect just as it is, and I really don't want to screw it up. What I want to do is get another big old bite of it in my face before it loses any temperature. All right, now let's check out this buckwheat with vegetables. Definitely have some seasoning floating around in here, which is very nice. Peas, chickpeas, corn, carrots. We have some red pepper hunks in there, which is always really cool. So let's tuck in to this buckwheat with vegetables. See if we can get a little bit of everybody on there. I'm so going to drop this on my face. Let's bring that first bite up for you guys to take a look at. That is a pretty healthy looking spoonful of buckwheat and vegetables, but let's find out what it tastes like. That's crazy good. Oh my God. That's great. Has a nice cilantro and lime flavor to it. There's definitely some other seasonings in here that I'm picking up on. Some basil. And we have some beans floating around in there. Check that out. There's all kinds of shit in here. This is really high quality, really good. It is a damn shame that this is not a military ration. Apparently it may be sooner or later, but as far as any ration goes, this is absolutely yummy. I'm going to get more of it in my face. Really good flavor, really nice chew. The chickpeas are a nice touch, throwing a little bit of protein in there, along with the other beans. That could just be a soybean, not 100% sure what the hell it is, and quite honestly, it tastes good, so I really don't care. And this is certainly another amazing retort pouch main in this ration. This is a total win. Just for fun, because I decided to hydrate all of them, we're going to grab a big old mouthful. We're going to grab a big old mouthful of rehydrated veggie mix and just toss that right in the face. That's odd. It's not bad. Kind of lost some of its flavor sitting here. Kind of lost some of that pungent, like, onion flavor. Maybe I should have just left it dehydrated and just sprinkled it on everything and just really enjoyed the onions. But let's try it with this buckwheat with vegetables. Not bad at all. This actually lost some onion flavor. And when I rehydrated it, I kind of wish I wouldn't have done that, but that's lessons learned. I do have another one of these on the way. Pretty positive it's the same menu. I'll just be enjoying that one off camera sometime, because this ration was absolutely worth the cost of admission. I'm going to steal a little bit of that goulash sauce to go with my veggies. Such great flavor combinations with these guys. Lost a little bit of the onion flavor, which is a real bitch, but I am going to add a little bit of these veggies to the goulash just for fun, just to add a little color, a little bit of extra flavor to this goulash. Not that it really needs it, because it's pretty amazing. And I haven't touched the salt and pepper, which is a really good indicator that this is a high quality main. The thing that's really awesome about both of these main items is neither one of them tastes processed, which is great. Yes, this beef is a little tough. The reason I say I can forgive that is because it tastes 100% real and natural. Doesn't taste canned, doesn't taste processed. It's certainly just whole pieces of beef. There might not be a metric shit ton of it in here, but what beef there is in here is high quality, good stuff. This is just good food. When I find a good ration, I have zero issues singing its praises. As much as I hate to mess with it, we got to do something with this tortilla. So we will do something a little goofy. Or maybe not so goofy, just something that, well, everybody else on the planet would probably think of. Well, we're going to take a little bit of these veggies, because we have them, and we're going to use them up as much as we possibly can. Spread a little bit of that out, get some of this buckwheat and vegetables on there, and we're going to follow it up with a scoop of the goulash because we can, and we're going to make a mess because we always do, so what's the difference? I have no clue what I'm doing rolling a burrito. You should see me on burrito night. Mrs. Ration Nerd is always looking at me sideways like, where in the hell did you learn how to put a burrito together? And the bottom line is, nowhere. So let's see what that little crazy burrito is all about. And all those flavors really work together. Definitely going to have to come in here and dip this in the goulash sauce. It's funny, the tortilla does take a little bit of the flavor away from it, just simply because it's a plain tortilla, but it's still damn good and chewy and yummy. I wish the sauce was a little thicker so it would stick to the tortilla when I'm going in there for a scoop of the sauce, but hey, this is still a yummy ass dinner. And 3,800 calories is nothing to stick your nose in the air about. Yes, other rations have more calories, but this one is very likely intended to be a general purpose ration for a relatively active person doing relatively active things. So if you're not out doing a whole lot of shit, 3,800 calories is probably way too much. But if you are an active soldier, hiker, camper, or in an emergency situation, you're going to need all those extra calories, and this ration certainly has them. And what's really great about this ration is that the only calories I've left behind so far was the fish. And that's on me, because I'm not a fish eater. I can't control what they put in the menus, but if that fish were something different, I totally would have eaten it. And quite honestly, if I was extraordinarily hungry or in an emergency situation, I would have covered that fish in something and just kind of sucked it down. But otherwise, all the other food items have been consumed by yours truly because they were good and there was not a damn thing wrong with them. And I suppose somebody in the comments will tell me what they think about that bag of mackerel, whether it looked good, whether it looked janky. Considering it was a fish that's completely outside of my wheelhouse, because, well, all fish are outside of my wheelhouse, it wasn't that bad. But there's plenty of other things in this ration to be absolutely excited about. So this ration has pretty much been a total winner. This is extremely good. I really wish you guys were here to take a bite with me. This is off the hook. This is really good food. And this has absolutely been a fun day. This main, great flavors, quality ingredients. You couldn't even tell this came out of a bag if you didn't watch me take it out of a bag. This stuff is off the absolute chain. Get in here and get that a last bite of the goulash so I can spill it on me while I show it to you. And there's that last bite of goulash going in my big pie hole. It is absolutely worth making a mess out of yourself trying to get all this sauce. It would actually be easier to eat this out of the retort pouch because you could kind of do it like a soup at the very end and then just tip the retort pouch back to chug it. That would definitely be the way to do it. That was a quality main. Wow. Just absolutely wow. I'm amazed. That was really, really good. I am definitely going to finish off the rest of this buckwheat with vegetables. This is another great item. Grain is nice and chewy. Vegetables have a pronounced flavor. That cilantro and lime flavor is really good in here. Hints of basil. Really, really good food. I didn't even need to bother with the salt and pepper for this entire meal. That's a total win. That absolutely deserves a palate cleanser. We're going to go to the hot cocoa, see what this is all about. So let's get a taste of it and see what it's like. Oh, that is really good. Very different from your standard hot cocoa. If I had to explain this, this is like dark chocolate made into hot cocoa. It is nice and sweet, but certainly not oversweet in any way. It's very thick and rich. One of those items that seems like it would fill your stomach up really fast because it's very thick, very rich, but not overly sweet, which just makes me want to chug it, but I'm just going to try my best to sip it. Man, if you were going to take a hot cocoa and just add a tiny little bit of water to it and make it into a paste for some kind of like icing, that is definitely the one to do it. I kind of wish I would have known about that. I would have set a small portion of it off to the side, mixed it up into some icing, and slathered it on that tortilla. That would have been epic. But you know what time it is. It's Turkish pudding time, and I've been dying to find out what Turkish chocolate pudding with cake is supposed to be all about. Maybe the cake has already been like ground up and made in with the pudding, because I certainly don't see any cake bits in here. Just looks like chocolate pudding to me. What do you think? Just really looks like chocolate pudding, but we're going to get it in the face and we're going to decide if this is something special or something normal. And that's very, very different. It certainly tastes a little bit like chocolate pudding, but not at all like chocolate pudding at the same time. Same consistency, a background hint of chocolate, but there is another pungent flavor in here I can't quite put my finger on. It has a little bit of the same after flavor that I'm accustomed to, like in a holiday cake that's been soaked in some kind of alcohol and then sliced up and served. Definitely going to need to put a few more bites of this in the analyzer to see if I can figure out what the hell this flavor is. I called my mouth the analyzer. What an overstatement. And that really is excellent. Very different from your standard chocolate pudding. I had to go back and read the packaging to figure out what in the hell was giving this such a different taste. There are apparently a lot of eggs, milk, cream, and also fig paste in here. It's probably the taste I'm picking up on. Certainly why it wouldn't taste like a standard chocolate pudding, at least to me. But this stuff is really good. A little bit of a pungent, strange aftertaste that I actually really enjoy. Not bad at all, just strange to my taste buds. This stuff is banging. This might not be absolutely gourmet, but it's certainly getting there as far as rations go. This is a banging item. This entire ration has been one hell of a great experience, and this dessert is just leaving me with a smiley face. God, I just want to lean over the tray and stick my big old moo cow tongue in there and just grab it all up out of there. Son of a bitch. It's a hell yes Dardanel spoon drop because this ration is banging. And just a couple more things to go here. I'm kind of sad to see it go, but I am a very full boy today. Gonna need to put myself on the treadmill or something and work some calories off. Let's check out this black cherry fruit leather. I already showed you the other one. Oh, what the hell. You know you want to see it. It is mushy fruit, which is excellent. Let's get a bite of this blackberry goodness and talk about it. Just like the other fruit leathers, very good. Chewy, sweet, great natural blackberry flavor. I absolutely love these. I don't know too many people that wouldn't like them unless you were weird and something was wrong with you. It's just pre-mushed up fruit and it's mildly sweet. It's really good. It's chewy. Something to do with your face. These are great ration items and you're not going to see this again because it's all going in my face. Wow, now that I got those nice sticky fingers, actually, you know what? We'll go ahead and get the rest of our sticky fingers on while we eat these probably not really multivitamins. And with that out of the way, we will check out this wipe to see what it smells like, as well as do I think this is the supplied butt wipe for the ration. Wow, that's extremely wet, extremely thin, so the answer to the butt wipe equation was absolutely not. Let's give it a sniff. Whew! That does smell like lemon quite a bit and some flowers, but the alcohol that they use for this is evaporating very quickly, makes the towel feel extremely cold and crazy. So since this is technically a civilian ration that is used sometimes by NATO, I guess it's okay to have this grandma smelling wipe in here. You're not really wiping your ass with that because you're definitely going to get the poke through. It's not the strongest thing on the planet, but this certainly could help you clean up your beehole after you've used most of your dinner napkins to wipe that ass. So that's one thing this ration really didn't have, was a great butt wiping component. I guess if you were stuck with absolutely no butt wipe, you could say fuck it and just wipe your mouth on your sleeve. Keep the napkins to wipe your butt. Keep these in case your dick beaters got really, really nasty, or in case you got an accidental poke through from the napkins, which would be hateful. At least you'd have one of these guys to clean you up. But if you were a soldier, I would not recommend using this because literally everybody's going to smell your grandma smelling ass from across the battlefield. Last up, we have this Vivident gum. This looks to be watermelon flavor. So, we're just tearing it to pieces like a fucking gorilla. I've had a serious issue with opening things today. I'm not sure exactly what that's about, but I guess we'll get over it. One ration at a time. I need an assistant. So we got that gum. Let's check it out. And this gum is sweet, tastes like watermelon, very refreshing. No mint or any other crazy flavors to go with it, which is nice. It just tastes like watermelon chewing gum. Nice and chewy, no real weird flavors from artificial sweeteners. It's just a really yummy watermelon flavored chewing gum. I'm gonna wash it all down with the rest of this pretty nifty melon drink. Not too shabby. And I'm gonna save the ramble for the wrap up at the end. Needless to say, this was a hell of a lot of fun, and it was even more fun because you decided to come here with this guy. And I know some of you were patiently waiting. Wait no longer. I made you wait this long. I'm not going to make you wait all the way to the end. Which one of you Patreon subscribers is going to win this Japanese Self-Defense Force ration? I don't know. I'm about to tell you. Grabbing the ration bucket hat. And everybody's in the hat. Who do we have here? We have J Mills 1027, congratulations. You are the winner of the ration. I'll be reaching out to you on Patreon so I can get some address on you so I can send you a free ration. That's absolutely awesome. Congratulations, J Mills. You got a Japanese Self-Defense Force ration, and this is actually a really good ration. So thank you guys for joining me here on Ration Nerd, where today we got into a ration from Greece. This is from Dardanel, a company that is originally from Turkey, but this ration was made in Greece. For anybody who wants to know, you can look right here by my thumb, and you can see where it tells you the country of origin is Greece. So if you didn't watch this far in the video, that's your fault. So if you're shitting on me in the comments, that's not a Greek ration, da-da-da. Actually, yes, it really is. Anyway, we had a good time with this. The mains were off the hook. This was a really well put together ration. Only a couple of items I really didn't like. I'm not even going to count the fish because that's on me, not on the ration. But to be fair, I wouldn't know a good fish if it jumped out of the ocean and smacked me in the face. There were a couple of drinks that I didn't care for. Other than that, everything else in this ration was somewhere between good and excellent. There were no losers in this at all in any way, shape, or form. I can totally see why a country's military would reach out to Dardanel and be like, hey, I need a couple thousand 24-hour rations for some exercises we have coming up. That's pretty much the way it was explained to me, how this ration is being employed by some NATO countries at the moment. But honestly, I was so pleased with the contents of this ration, I can't really think of too many things I would want to add or take away, minus the fish. Again, that's a personal thing. Otherwise, this was a hell of a lot of fun, really calorie dense. 3,800 calories is nothing to snub your nose up at. This thing was absolutely amazing. I was really happy I got this. I have another one on the way, probably the same menu, so we won't be reviewing it together. But no, just know that I'll be somewhere with my head completely in the bag, nom nom nomming on the contents, because that's what kind of ration this was. And if you like nom nom nomming it, you know what you could do for this guy. You could hit that like button and hit that subscribe button and talk to me in the chat. It is always a great time to hear from you guys. And it's totally that magic time of the video. In case you don't know, I'm about to tell you. It's the time where we say, if you can find something cooler than this Dardanel 24-hour ration for one person made in Greece to put in your face hole, you absolutely know what to do. Eat 'em up.
Man, you know that chocolate pudding shit was off the hook, right? I mean, it didn't really taste like real chocolate pudding. I mean, it did, but then it had some other shit in it, and I'm not really sure what it was, but damn, that shit was good. I was sitting back like, damn, it's like it's got some of grandma's rum cake in it. That shit be tasting good. Did I tell you guys I like to drink? I mean, Ration Nerd ain't much into it, but this guy right here, man, I could really go for like anyway, it doesn't really matter, but damn, I'm full of shit. This motherfucker be feeding me. I think he trying to fatten me up and eat me for Thanksgiving. I'm not really sure why he's always stuffing so much food in my motherfucking face, in his face, our face. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's all the same. I mean, well, it's not, because I'm my own person, and I don't ever anybody want to say that like it's just because of Ration Nerd that I'm around, because you know, like, I'm my own person. I don't want nobody to be like, man, you ain't real Sling Ration, like, motherfucker. What? Like, you know, I don't really normally get any mail or anything, so like, I am starting to kind of wonder sometimes, like, if I'm just a figment of somebody else's imagination. Maybe there's somewhere I need to go and talk to somebody and see if, like, that's a thing, you know, like, maybe just I ain't got no bills, you know, like, maybe nobody mailing or writing me, because, like, I didn't make no debt. See, that's where this Sling Ration ain't in debt. Ha! See, I got one up on all you people. I ain't got no light bill. I ain't got no car bill. I ain't got no electric bill. I ain't got no nothing. I just live here rent free up in this bitch. I don't know how I'd be pulling that off. Maybe I shouldn't be telling anybody that I'm like rent free up in this motherfucker. And then Ration Nerd be like, bitch, you need to pay some rent. And I'll be like, fuck, man, I done open up my mouth now. Well, shit, I just told all you guys I should probably not be doing that. Damn.